तो स्वागत है आप सभी का नए वीडियो में। जैसा कि आप स्क्रीन पे देख सकते होगे, इन थंबनेल समय में आप देख चुके होंगे कि हम लोग बात करने वाले हैं बिट्स के जो टाई अप्स हैं यूनिवर्सिटीज़ के साथ, आरएमआईटी, आयोवा, बुफेलो के साथ। ठीक है। अब हमारे साथ सृजल है जो कि ऑलरेडी आरएमआईटी में इनरोल्ड है, और हमने एक वीडियो बनाया था इससे पहले जो कि आपने देखा होगा मोस्टली लोगों ने। तो बहुत उसका अच्छा रिस्पॉन्स आया, बहुत लोगों ने कमेंट करा, बहुत लोगों ने इंस्टाग्राम पे रीच आउट करा उस प्रोग्राम के बारे में जानने के लिए कि आखिर 100 नंबर में या 150 नंबर में बिट्स के अंदर डुअल लाइक दो डिग्रीज कैसे मिल सकती हैं कि 4 साल बिट्स के अंदर का भी डिग्री मिल जाएगा, 4 साल बिट्स के बाहर जो यूनिवर्सिटीज़ हैं उनकी डिग्री कैसे मिल जाएगा। तो इस पर हमने सोचा कि एक वीडियो प्रॉपर बना देते हैं ताकि जो बचा खुचा डाउट है वो भी आपका क्लियर हो जाए। इसके लिए हमने प्रॉपर रिसर्च करा। तो आपको हम धीरे धीरे प्रेजेंट कर रहे हैं वो चीज़, और आपको सृजल एक एक चीज़ एक्सप्लेन करेगी कि चीज़ें कैसे होती हैं। सो अगर हम लोग अगला पेज भरें, सो इट्स अबाउट मी कि मैं क्या हूँ। अगर आप लोग मेरे वीडियोस पहली बार देख रहे हो तो मैं बिट्स पिलानी पिलानी कैंपस का थर्ड ईयर का स्टूडेंट हूँ। मेरी ब्रांच डुअल डिग्री मैथ प्लस ENI है। अन अकेडमी का मेरा रैंक 1 था। आरएमओ क्वालिफाइड हूँ, हॉकी टीम में हूँ, मौर्य विहार में हूँ। फिर अभी रेलवेज़ के अंदर इंटर्नशिप कर रहा हूँ। ठीक है। अब आते हैं सृजल पे कि सृजल क्या है। तो सृजल यहाँ पे आपको देख सकते होगे कि आरएमआईटी की स्टूडेंट है, मैकेनिकल इंजीनियरिंग में इनरोल्ड है। तो बिट्स प्लस आरएमआईटी का इनका पहला बैच है। उसके बाद लेके बिट्स पिलानी के डिबेटिंग सोसाइटी में है, एन इन ASME, एंड ये NSS की मेंबर भी है। अब ये हमने इसलिए दिया ताकि आपको हमारी ऑथेंटिसिटी का आइडिया लग पाए कि हम लोग ऐसे कुछ एब्रप्ट लोग नहीं हैं जो अचानक से आके वीडियो बना के चले जा रहे हैं। हमने प्रॉपर रिसर्च करी है, हम जिसके बारे में बात कर रहे हैं उस वो हम ऑलरेडी इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं। तो हम थोड़ा ऑथेंटिक हो जाते हैं इसको बात करने के लिए। अब हम लोग सीधा मुद्दे पे शुरू करते हैं। जो पॉइंट्स हैं, जो आपके राउट्स मेजर जो हमने लोगों से मीट करी, अभी तक हमने 5-7 पेरेंट्स से बात कर ली है रिगार्डिंग दिस RMIT। तो उनके जो डाउट्स हैं, उनसे जो इनपुट्स लिए, उसको करके हमने एक प्रेजेंटेशन बनाई है। तो वो आपको दिखाते हैं। लाइक श्रीजर विल एक्सप्लेन यू द पॉइंट्स।
So the first thing that comes to our mind is कि BITS जैसे टियर वन कॉलेज को exactly what's the need फॉरेन यूनिवर्सिटीज से कोलैबोरेट करने के लिए, लाइक अभी आयोवा, RMIT और बफेलो तो है ही, और very soon there are other tie-ups which are coming up like with universities of Japan and whatnot. So there are a couple of reasons. Like we all know that India is going global, and through these programs, the student will get to have global exposure. Why the job prospects are better is because जितनी भी MNCs हैं, उनकी global branches हैं, so they will prefer someone who has already had an experience of not only India but working abroad, so that their company can also match steps with the world. Then again, foreign degree at a cheaper price. What do I mean by that? There are a lot of us in a foreign degree pursue करनी है, or when they apply through SAT या any other medium and they study for 4 years abroad, that actually comes at double the price. तो हमें इस प्राइस पॉइंट पे दो 4 year डिग्रीज मिल रही हैं, नॉट ओनली बिट्स की बट एक फॉरेन कंट्री की भी। तो इस पर्सपेक्टिव से देखें तो हमें ये एक अब्रॉड डिग्री जो मोस्ट ऑफ अस वांटेड टू परस्यू, ये चीपर प्राइस पे मिल रही है अलॉन्ग विद वर्क राइट्स ऑफ द कंट्री जहां हम पढ़ने जा रहे हैं। So, a couple of doubts we faced over the last few days were regarding first the English proficiency test. Most of you were confused which one to take, which is the most widely accepted score. Like, there are tests which are not accepted in a few nations, and I personally recommend that because these test scores are valid for 2 to 3 years, and as such they are very expensive, it's wiser to take a test which is most widely accepted so that you can use them in other places as well. Then when and where do we have to submit these results? What if we do not have a passport, which most of you do not have, and what if you are not able to submit these test scores within the timeline that they provide you with? Will tell you, navigate you through this situation, that what is the best way of going about doing things, because I personally have been there, done that. Next, should we fill in all the 5 counselings? So, those of you who do not know, there are 5 simultaneous counselings going on currently: the pharma one, the normal 4 year bits one, and the 3 foreign 2+2 tie ups that we have. So, how most of you are confused as to what if we get selected in all three? How will bits choose us? Will we get the freedom to choose where we go? Or for those of you who do not know, other than applying on the BITS website, the preference, you have to go separately
to the website of these colleges and fill in the preferences. So we'll ensure that you do not miss any deadline or any form submission. Then next out comes about job opportunities abroad, the country that you will be transferring to. What is the job market there? Can you sit for placements in BITS? If yes, what if end of 4 years the placement season coincides? How do you navigate about that situation? Will you even get a decent enough job that helps you reimburse the large amount that you are investing in your education? The average and median salaries, of course, they are not officially released, but we know people who have graduated from these universities who are working in these nations. So they can guide you a lot about the career that you want to take up in these nations. They can guide you about how these universities strengthen you, pursue the career you want to. Then, will you be differentiated during placements here in India in BITS? What difference does you being a foreign student make to the companies? We'll discuss all these things in great detail. Then finances. So most of you were curious, should we take a loan? Will it be worth it? Or say, if you take a loan, what is the best way of going about doing that? And what do I mean by the best way? Where can you get a lower rate of interest? What is the smartest way to take a loan so that you can reimburse that amount in a shorter period of time in the easiest way possible? Because if you go straight up take a 1 CR loan, that's a huge interest amount that you pay, right? So we'll discuss all this in great detail. Then will you be able to pay your fees or a partial amount of your fees by the part-time job that you do? What is the part-time culture? Do they pay you enough? And all these things. Then scholarships. Are there scholarships? Are these universities giving any additional scholarships, or are there any alien organizations which give scholarship? If they do, how can you build up your profile in a way that you do avail these scholarships? We'll discuss and guide you through all these. Then prospects of coming back to India. Most of us do engineering as a backup, or maybe we change our mind down the line. So we want to come back to India or look to the prospects of UPSC, MBA. How can we then look at these degrees? How can we pursue them? How can we be both global citizens and then come back to India and use all the skills that we gained? How can we prepare for these exams, or how can we keep this at the back of our mind and still pursue this degree effectively? We'll be discussing all these things in great detail. Then accommodation. Do these colleges have hostels? How expensive, how cheap are they? Is it better to stay there or find an accommodation of your own? Will it be feasible? What cost of living difference do we see? And these are things again we'll discuss on a very personal note. Then cultural differences. Do we face racism? Is it easy to find a part-time job? Is it easy to find a part-time job as an Indian? The food differences, I think you can cook. If you cook, that won't make a difference, but yes, whether or not you'll be able to adjust to the cultural differences that you are going to face there, so that it does not take a toll on your mental health. We'll very clearly, vividly, bluntly discuss all these things. Then again, while in the foreign university options, you have three options, three universities and two countries. Based on what are your future aspirations, what program suits you the best, we'll give a personalized guidance on that as well. Then two degrees. Most of you were confused that if BITS has a relative grading system and say RMIT has an absolute grading system, how are they going to grade us on our degree at the end of 4 years? So we'll be telling you all these things. How are your credits going to be transferred? Are the degrees even UGC approved? How exactly will this transfer and synchronization between these two universities take place? If you have any doubts regarding these things, we'll be clarifying that out too. Moving next, what if you do not wish to transfer at the end of 2 years? Say, for example, you change your mind. You currently want to be a global, you want to explore this global studies option, but end of 2 years, you do not wish to be a part of this program, or any unforeseen situation just prevents you from settling or moving, transferring there. So what are the alternative options you can take up then? Will BITS retain you, and will any other Indian university accept you? What exactly happens to you then? We'll be discussing that situation as well. Then how many times do you need to travel to the foreign university during your 2 year stay at BITS? Is it even mandatory? How to go about doing that? How will you apply for the visa and everything? We'll discuss all that in great detail. And if you have any other doubt which is different from these domains, which is not discussed here, any other such questions, we'll be more than happy to address and clarify on that as well. So for this reason, we have launched a BBB, which is the BITS Beyond Borders program. It's a 2+2 mentorship program, which means it deals with the 2+2 international collaboration programs that BITS is offering. We are here to guide you for any query that you have regarding these programs. A lot of features that we are going to offer. We'll be offering you full mentorship until you very satisfactorily secure a seat. Then we'll have one-on-one sessions. It can be video calls, texts at whatever time convenient to you. Then you can have unlimited number of sessions once you have availed or registered for this program. You can call us n number of times with n+1 number of doubts, and we'll be more than happy to address that. Then we'll give you full guidance regarding all the aspects that we have covered, we have not covered. We'll be more than happy to help you with this. And if you wish to register, you need to fill the Google form which is there in the description. My personal advice would be that counseling and selecting college is a very crucial aspect of our career. So it's important that we devote the time, research, and energy which is required, and make a very conscious choice of choosing the college and the course, because it does have a long term impact on our career and life. So thank you for listening to us. If you have any doubt regarding this program, feel free to reach out to either Arav or myself, Shrijal, on our Instagram handles which we have given here. Thank you so much.